So what triggers a narcissistic person? Knowing what triggers a narcissistic person helps us to not trigger them in order to not put ourselves in danger, especially if we have to be alone around them. However, also learning what triggers a narcissistic person can lead people into triggering a narcissist in public, so that the narcissist exposes themselves, which can work in a court of law for the judge to see their true character. However, it's not particularly recommended without the guidance and support of professionals, and even professionals get it wrong. As when it comes to a narcissistic person, they lack empathy. So they're not going to lose. By their very nature, they do not want to lose. They would rather see you destroyed. They will take you down with them. So intentionally triggering a narcissistic person is not the wisest move. It just puts you in potential danger. Narcissistic people rule people through fear, obligation, and guilt. They play with your emotions to get their needs met by you. They also control you through the environment that they create for you. They create that financial instability. They neglect, you lose the warmth. They control you through your emotions and the environment so they can get what they want from you. And one of the main things that's going to trigger a narcissistic person is when they don't get their own way. Nobody throws a bigger tantrum than a narcissist who's losing control over somebody else's mind, when they're not getting what they want from you. And this is due to their sense of entitlement. They believe they're entitled to have everything their own way. They never learnt to obey the rules of the norms of society, which helped people to live peacefully with each other. They learn to break the rules because they do not believe the rules should apply to them. They believe the rules should apply to all of those around them to make life easier for them, but they do not believe the rules apply to them. So they're more than willing to say no to you, even no to something that they agreed to do. However, you are not allowed to say no to them. You can be going to work to earn the money to pay the bills that they're not interested in. But if they want your attention and they're not getting your attention, they're going to become offended at you. They are going to start accusing you of making things more important than they are as a person. They're going to guilt trip you so that you change your no into a yes to serve them. So you drop your responsibilities to be there for them. They're going to threaten you, so you fear saying no to them. Or they're going to make you feel obligated. They're going to turn around and claim, after all I've done for you, so that you change your no into a yes to serve them. There's another thing that triggers a narcissistic person is when they're not the centre of attention, why they often ruin special occasions, why they sulk when you've got something else on. Not only because they are isolating you from support, as once they can isolate you, they can further their control over you. When they can cut you off from the things that you need, such as support from your friends and family, because you're not going to get it from a narcissistic person. They're just going to emotionally manipulate you until they exhaust you and drain you and destroy you. So when they're not getting the attention they feel like they're entitled to, they're going to place that fear in you. or they're going to make you feel guilty for not putting them first. Even if you have children together, so they're the narcissistic person's children as well as yours, and you're putting those children because they're minors and they need your support, and that narcissistic person is a grown adult throwing major tantrums, they are going to be offended that you dare to put the child before them. They're the authority, and they want those around them to obey them and live life on their terms. So they get offended, and this can trigger a narcissistic person. Now, they might rage out at you, they might blame you, they might shame you, they might start playing around and hurting your feelings and then claiming that, of course, they're only joking and it's your fault because you can't take a joke. As soon as they've taken responsibility away from themselves, they don't have to feel bad. They might fall silent, they might sulk, they might ghost. They go through many different childlike games, and they are scary because they're in an adult's body. It's difficult enough dealing with a toddler that you are not allowed to discipline. It's difficult enough dealing with your own children and not knowing what's right or wrong to do. It's a learning curve. When you're dealing with a grown adult that you cannot say no to for fear of consequences, it's damn near impossible to say no to them. So when you do, they're going to get offended and they're going to come after you. Not agreeing with them, they take this as criticism. Not accepting their opinions as fact. Showing that difference. Not showing them the sympathetic attention that they believe that they are entitled to. This offends a narcissistic person and their arrogance, as they lack the ability, yet they want to be seen as superior to all others. They have the confidence, they don't have the competence in doing something. And when they are called out on this, they take great offence to this. And this can trigger a narcissistic injury and lead to narcissistic rage. Now, more often than not, if you were to put a narcissistic person down because they claimed they were capable of doing a job and yet they were incapable of doing that job and they failed. Not only did they fail, they messed it up big time. And it's not just a simple mistake. We all make mistakes. It's not a mistake, it's who they are. Yet they pass the blame onto everyone around them. It was the person that was helping them that messed it up. It's always somebody else's fault. They do not take responsibility for their behaviour. Instead, they shift the blame. Being exposed, simply trying to hold them accountable for things that they are not going to take responsibility for. They're going to take severe offence to this, and they're going to seek to punish you to feel better about the fact that you've seen them for who they truly are. To feel better about the fact that they believe you got one over on them. They don't think, oh, perhaps I shouldn't have done that. They think, how dare you call me out on that? You're not perfect. You make mistakes. They want to shift that responsibility again so they don't have to deal with their issues. Calling a narcissistic person out when they've promised. Narcissistic people will future fake. So when they promise you something and fail to deliver and you ask them about this, they're going to take offence to this. And they're usually going to look for a scapegoat to blame as to why they didn't deliver, or gaslight you and claim that they never said that. Or if you would have done this for them, then they would have done that for you. Again, to make you feel guilty for asking them to do the thing they said they would do. It's that sense of entitlement again. Narcissistic people do not believe the rules apply to them, yet they believe they apply to those around them, which is the same as when you don't agree with them, when they're wrong, when they get called out on being wrong. They take offense to this because being wrong to them is unimaginable for them. Rule 1, they are always right. Rule 2, if they are wrong, rule 1 applies. Somebody else's fault. Somebody else's is wrong, not them. And when they feel control slipping away, when people are moving on without them, this triggers a narcissist to go all out to regain control, either by hoovering the person back in, by playing nice, by offering those false promises, those future fakes, the promises of change to win the person back over, to regain control of the situation, or smear that person's name. They want to smear that person's name because they want to ruin that person's reputation so they can save their own. Narcissistic people do not like losing. They'd rather see you taken down with them than them losing. They will leave you in ruins before they give up. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers, and your continued support with the channel is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot come no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.